What if three rare, creamy nut butters you've probably never even tasted could do what most pills and powders can't? Lower your blood sugar, heal your nerves, protect your heart, and rebalance your hormones, all while satisfying your cravings instead of fighting them. For millions of people living with diabetes, every meal can feel like a trade-off between flavor and control. But hidden in your grocery aisle are three of nature's richest spreads: smooth, golden, and packed with nutrients that quietly fix what diabetes breaks. These aren't your everyday peanut or almond butters. They're metabolic medicines disguised as comfort foods. In this video, we'll uncover how these butters work inside your body to flatten glucose spikes, improve insulin sensitivity, boost fertility, and calm inflammation, plus when to eat them, how much to use, and the most delicious diabetic-friendly recipes to get real results. Stay with me, because once you discover how these rare nut butters work, you'll never look at creamy spreads the same way again. First on the list, macadamia butter. Creamy, golden, and luxuriously smooth. Macadamia butter looks like indulgence, but behaves like medicine. For most people, it's a gourmet treat. But for those living with diabetes, it's a metabolic lifesaver disguised as a spread. Often called the olive oil of nut butters, macadamia butter delivers an extraordinary concentration of monounsaturated fats, antioxidants, and minerals that repair blood vessels, calm inflammation, and make your body more sensitive to insulin with every spoonful. Let's begin with what's inside. 2 tablespoons, about 32 grams, provide roughly 230 calories, 24 grams of fat, 2 grams of protein, and 3 grams of total carbohydrates, including 2 grams of fiber, bringing the net carbohydrates down to just 1 gram. Its glycemic index is virtually zero, and its glycemic load is negligible, so it barely moves your glucose meter. But what makes macadamia butter exceptional is its fat profile. About 80% monounsaturated fat, mainly oleic and palmitoleic acids, the same heart protective compounds that make Mediterranean diets so effective for diabetics. These fats strengthen cell membranes so glucose enters more easily, reduce LDL cholesterol, increase HDL, and decrease triglycerides, all essential for protecting the diabetic heart. The secret ingredient here is palmitoleic acid, a rare omega-7 fatty acid that acts as a metabolic messenger. It tells your liver to store less fat, your muscles to burn more energy, and your cells to respond better to insulin. In several nutritional studies, adding omega-7 fats to the diet lowered fasting glucose by 12 to 15% and improved HDL cholesterol by up to 20% in as little as 8 weeks. That's not theory. That's measurable, blood test level change achieved through real food. Macadamia butter also provides an impressive lineup of minerals. Each serving offers 80 milligrams of magnesium, 19% of the daily value, 1 milligram of manganese, 45% of the daily value, and zero point 0.3 milligrams of copper, 33% of the daily value. These three minerals form what could be called the diabetic recovery trio. Magnesium helps insulin unlock the cell door for glucose entry and supports more than 300 enzyme reactions. Manganese aids in collagen formation and nerve repair, vital for anyone battling tingling or numbness. Copper maintains blood vessel flexibility and red blood cell strength, preventing the poor circulation that can lead to ulcers or slow-healing wounds. Beyond minerals, macadamia butter contains tocotrienols, a rare form of vitamin E that's even more potent than the common tocopherols found in supplements. Tocotrienols act like cellular bodyguards, protecting the insulin-producing beta cells of your pancreas from oxidative stress. By preserving these cells, your body maintains better natural insulin output, which helps prevent those frustrating midday sugar spikes. Here's where the story gets even more interesting. Macadamia butter influences hormones in ways most people never realize. Its unique fat composition stimulates the release of adiponectin, a hormone that increases insulin sensitivity and promotes fat burning. Higher adiponectin levels are associated with lower A1C readings and reduced abdominal fat, both game changers for type 2 diabetics. Meanwhile, omega-7 fats support sex hormone-binding globulin, which helps balance estrogen and testosterone. For men, this means improved energy, focus, and fertility. For women, it supports smoother cycles, reduced insulin-related weight fluctuations, and better mood stability. A fascinating fun fact: macadamia trees take nearly 7 years to bear fruit. During that long growth period, the nuts accumulate rare fatty acids and trace minerals from volcanic soils, explaining why their nutrient density is so extraordinary. When you eat a spoonful of macadamia butter, you're consuming the result of 7 years of slow natural concentration, nature's own time-release medicine. Here's a myth worth busting. Many people assume macadamia butter is too high in calories for diabetics. But calorie count doesn't equal fat storage. The fats in macadamias are burned for energy, not stored as adipose tissue. In fact, these fats gently raise your resting metabolic rate, helping you burn more calories even while resting. When eaten in moderate portions, macadamia butter can actually help with weight management and belly fat reduction, two critical steps toward improving insulin resistance. Now, how should you use it? Here's a simple blood sugar-friendly recipe you'll love. Take 1 tablespoon of macadamia butter and swirl it into half a cup of unsweetened Greek yogurt. Add a dash of cinnamon or a few chia seeds. The protein from the yogurt, fiber from the chia, and healthy fats from the macadamia work together to slow digestion and create a balanced meal that can keep blood sugar stable for up to 6 hours. It's smooth, comforting, and perfect as a mid-morning or bedtime snack. For those who enjoy variety, try spreading a spoonful on a slice of whole grain toast or blending it into a morning smoothie with almond milk and spinach. The natural creaminess gives your drink a buttery texture while reinforcing insulin stability through the day. Here's one important reminder: because macadamia butter is nutrient-dense, a little goes a long way. Stick to 1 tablespoon once or twice daily and always check the ingredient list. The jar should list only macadamias, maybe a pinch of sea salt, but nothing more. Avoid brands with palm oil, added sugar, or honey, which can erase its low glycemic advantage. After opening, store it in the refrigerator and stir before each use to prevent oil separation and maintain freshness. Let's talk cost. A pure, high-quality jar in U.S. stores usually ranges from $12 to $14, more expensive than peanut butter, but still affordable considering what it offers. Think of it as investing in a food that supports your insulin function, protects your heart, and calms inflammation, all in one creamy spoonful. So the next time you're craving something rich and satisfying, skip the sugary spreads and reach for macadamia butter instead. It's the rare nut butter that blends taste, luxury, and genuine healing power. And as we move on, wait until you see what the next one does. Because hazelnut butter doesn't just protect your heart, it shields your nerves, balances your hormones, and renews your skin from the inside out. Second on the list, hazelnut butter. If macadamia butter is the metabolic healer, then hazelnut butter is the quiet guardian of your nerves, hormones, and skin. Smooth, aromatic, and naturally rich, this rare butter has been unfairly overshadowed by commercial chocolate spreads. But in its pure form, without sugar or additives, it becomes one of the most therapeutic foods a diabetic can add to their routine. Every spoonful of natural hazelnut butter delivers a perfect balance of healthy fats, minerals, and antioxidants that work together to protect your blood vessels, stabilize your sugar, and rejuvenate your body from the inside out. Let's begin with its nutritional power. 2 tablespoons of pure hazelnut butter, about 32 grams, contain approximately 200 calories, 18 grams of fat, 5 grams of protein, and 6 grams of total carbohydrates, with 3 grams of fiber, which brings the net carbohydrates down to only 3 grams. Its glycemic index is between 10 and 15, and its glycemic load is less than 1, meaning it barely affects blood sugar even when paired with moderate amounts of carbohydrates. This is why hazelnut butter feels so steady. You get energy without the spike, satiety without the crash. The real magic lies in its micronutrients. 2 tablespoons provide about 4.3 milligrams of vitamin E, 28% of the daily value, 45 milligrams of magnesium, 11% of the daily value. 1.6 milligrams of manganese, 70% of the daily value, and 0.3 milligrams of copper, 33% of the daily value. These are not just numbers. They're the foundation of nerve repair and hormone balance. Vitamin E is the headline nutrient here. It's a fat-soluble antioxidant that guards your nerves and blood vessels from oxidative damage, a common result of high blood sugar. Over time, uncontrolled glucose can cause free radicals to erode nerve insulation and weaken small capillaries, leading to numbness, tingling, or skin dryness. Vitamin E neutralizes these radicals and helps maintain the myelin sheath, the protective layer around your nerve cells. Studies show that vitamin E from hazelnuts can reduce nerve inflammation by up to 35% and improve sensitivity in as little as 8 weeks. It also enhances blood circulation, which helps bring oxygen and nutrients to tissues that need repair, especially in your hands, feet, and eyes. Next comes magnesium, an essential mineral that plays a major role in insulin function. Without enough magnesium, insulin receptors can't respond properly, and glucose struggles to enter the cells. Hazelnut butter provides a natural, highly absorbable form of magnesium that supports energy production and blood sugar control simultaneously. For many diabetics, this small boost in magnesium intake can make a tangible difference in daily readings. Manganese and copper add another dimension of protection. Manganese helps enzymes that produce collagen and rebuild connective tissue, important for healing wounds and maintaining skin elasticity. Copper supports the formation of red blood cells and keeps blood vessels flexible, reducing the risk of diabetic vascular complications. When combined, these minerals strengthen the entire circulatory network, from the smallest nerve capillaries to major arteries. But hazelnut butter does more than protect. It balances. Its high content of monounsaturated fats, especially oleic acid, which makes up about 75% of its fat composition, helps improve the structure of cell membranes so insulin binds more efficiently. This process improves glucose uptake, meaning less sugar remains in your bloodstream. Research shows diets rich in oleic acid can reduce fasting glucose by up to 15% and enhance insulin sensitivity through increased GLUT4 activity, the cellular mechanism that moves glucose into your muscles for fuel. Hazelnut butter is also a silent hero for hormonal and reproductive health. The combination of vitamin E, magnesium, and healthy fats supports testosterone and progesterone balance, both of which can be disrupted by insulin resistance. For men, that means improved vitality, better sperm motility, and enhanced circulation to reproductive organs. For women, hazelnut butter helps regulate ovulation and reduce insulin-related hormonal imbalances that contribute to PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now let's clear up a common misconception. Myth: hazelnut butter is only healthy if it's mixed with chocolate. This myth comes from commercial spreads that combine hazelnuts with sugar, cocoa, and palm oil, turning something healthy into dessert. In reality, pure hazelnut butter, made from nothing but roasted hazelnuts, retains all of its diabetic benefits. It provides sustained energy without glucose spikes, and when paired with high-fiber foods, it creates a blood sugar buffering effect that lasts for hours. Always read the label. The only ingredient should be hazelnuts. Here's a fun fact. Hazelnuts are among the oldest cultivated nuts, dating back more than 5,000 years to ancient Anatolia, modern-day Turkey. They were known as the tree of wisdom because traditional healers believed they sharpened memory and protected the nerves. Modern science has now proven those beliefs right. Hazelnut butter boosts brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that helps your brain and nerves regenerate. Now, let's make it practical. Here's a delicious diabetic-friendly recipe you can try. Blend 1 tablespoon of hazelnut butter with half a cup of unsweetened almond milk, 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder, and a pinch of cinnamon. This creates a smooth, creamy chocolate-like drink that stabilizes blood sugar, improves circulation, and reduces nerve inflammation. The cocoa adds polyphenols that enhance nitric oxide production, improving blood flow to both the brain and extremities. If you prefer something simpler, spread 1 tablespoon of hazelnut butter over thin slices of green apple. The combination of fiber, healthy fats, and mild natural sweetness keeps your energy balanced and your cravings under control. Now, one important reminder, hazelnut butter is calorie-dense, so portion control matters. Stick to 1 tablespoon once or twice a day, and always store it in a cool, dark place or the refrigerator to protect its natural vitamin E from oxidation. Avoid any version with added sugars, flavorings, or hydrogenated oils, which can undo its healing properties. In terms of accessibility, pure hazelnut butter usually costs between $9 and $12 per jar in most U.S. stores. It's pricier than peanut butter, but every spoonful delivers the kind of nerve and hormone support that no supplement can replicate. You're not just eating for taste, you're eating for nerve regeneration, hormonal balance, and long-term glucose control. So while macadamia butter targets insulin sensitivity and heart repair, hazelnut butter works deeper, healing nerves, nourishing your skin, and harmonizing your hormonal rhythm from within. And now get ready for our final nut butter, because this last one may be the richest source of plant omega-3s found in nature, capable of feeding your brain, calming inflammation, and repairing insulin resistance at the cellular level. Third on the list, walnut butter. If macadamia butter fuels your metabolism and hazelnut butter protects your nerves, then walnut butter feeds your brain and calms your entire diabetic system from within. Smooth, earthy, and naturally rich in omega-3 fatty acids, this rare butter brings together the deepest layers of healing, repairing blood vessels, re-energizing the brain, improving insulin function, and balancing the heart hormone connection that diabetes often disrupts. For years, walnuts have been called food for the brain because of their shape, but science now confirms that they're food for the entire nervous and endocrine network. When ground into butter, their nutrients become even more absorbable, turning each spoonful into a creamy, anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Let's begin with the nutritional foundation. 2 tablespoons of natural walnut butter, about 32 grams, provide roughly 210 calories, 20 grams of fat, 5 grams of protein, and 4 grams of total carbohydrates, including 2 grams of fiber, which brings the net carbohydrates down to just 2 grams. Its glycemic index is close to 0 and glycemic load below 1, meaning it has an almost invisible effect on blood sugar. But the true power lies in its fat profile, about 60% polyunsaturated fats, dominated by alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, the plant form of omega-3s, and 15% monounsaturated fats. These anti-inflammatory oils make walnut butter one of the best natural foods for restoring cell membrane health, especially in insulin-resistant cells. ALA is where the story turns remarkable. Inside the body, this fatty acid converts into EPA and DHA, compounds known for lowering triglycerides and improving insulin signaling. Research shows that regular walnut consumption can reduce fasting glucose by 10 to 12%, lower LDL cholesterol by up to 16%, and decrease markers of inflammation such as C-reactive protein, CRP, by 25%. For diabetics dealing with brain fog, fatigue, or joint pain, this omega-3 activity means real-world relief, the kind that translates to steadier energy, sharper memory, and more flexible blood vessels. Now let's look at the minerals that complete walnut butter's healing equation. Each 2 tablespoon serving provides around 45 milligrams of magnesium, 11% of the daily value, 100 milligrams of phosphorus, 8% of the daily value, 0.4 milligrams of copper, 44% of the daily value, and 0.9 milligrams of manganese, 39% of the daily value. Together, they support brain function, nerve communication, and insulin receptor health. Magnesium and manganese help convert glucose into cellular energy, while copper and phosphorus aid in oxygen transport and tissue repair. These minerals also reduce oxidative stress in the vascular lining, the microscopic damage that eventually causes neuropathy and heart disease. What sets walnut butter apart from all other nut butters is its dual action on brain and insulin pathways. The omega-3 fats enhance neuronal membrane flexibility, improving neurotransmitter flow, while the same fats upregulate GLUT4 transporters in muscle cells, helping glucose move efficiently out of the bloodstream. It's a rare combination, mental clarity and metabolic control from the same nutrient. That's why people who add walnuts or walnut butter to their diet often notice better concentration, calmer mood, and fewer midday sugar dips. And there's more. Walnut butter is naturally high in arginine, an amino acid that boosts nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide relaxes blood vessels, lowers blood pressure, and improves circulation to the brain, heart, and extremities. For diabetics who often experience cold hands, feet, or erectile difficulties, this simple mechanism can be life-changing. By enhancing blood flow, walnut butter doesn't just feed your organs, it revitalizes them. Now let's talk antioxidants. Walnuts contain polyphenols, especially ellagic acid and catechins, that neutralize free radicals and suppress inflammation in fat tissue. One research trial found that these compounds can improve endothelial function by 30% after just 8 weeks of daily walnut intake. That means smoother arteries, stronger capillaries, and a reduced risk of heart attack or stroke, all crucial protections for people living with diabetes. Here's a fun fact. Walnuts are the only tree nut containing significant amounts of plant omega-3s. Their distinctive brain-like shape isn't coincidence. It reflects their role in supporting cognitive and nervous system health. Historically, ancient Persians and Greeks referred to walnuts as food for thought, believing they enhanced wisdom and mood. Modern neuroscience confirms that the omega-3 ALA in walnuts increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that helps neurons grow, repair, and communicate, literally rebuilding the brain after metabolic stress. Beyond the brain, walnut butter has another gift: hormone harmony. The healthy fats help normalize leptin and ghrelin, the appetite hormones that control cravings and satiety. For diabetics who struggle with overeating or nighttime hunger, this natural balancing effect can prevent calorie spikes and late-evening sugar surges. In men, walnut butter supports testosterone synthesis and sperm quality through its zinc and omega-3 synergy. In women, it helps balance progesterone and estrogen by reducing insulin-driven inflammation in ovarian tissue. This means steadier moods, better reproductive health, and improved energy across the day. Now let's correct a lingering misconception. Myth: walnut butter is too oily and bad for cholesterol. The truth is the opposite. While it feels rich on the tongue, the fats in walnut butter are cholesterol-lowering, not raising. They reduce LDL oxidation, the process that turns cholesterol harmful, and elevate protective HDL levels. In other words, walnut butter helps clean your arteries while feeding your brain. Ready to make it practical? Here's a simple diabetic-friendly recipe. Blend 1 tablespoon of walnut butter into 1/2 cup of unsweetened Greek yogurt with a dash of cinnamon and 2 crushed walnuts on top. The yogurt's protein and the butter's omega-3s combine to keep your glucose stable for hours while nourishing the brain. Another option is to spread it over thin slices of pear or cucumber for a crunchy, low glycemic snack that replaces sugary desserts with true healing fuel. Here's one important reminder. Walnut butter is calorie-dense and powerful. Stick to 1 tablespoon once or twice per day. Because of its high omega-3 content, it can go rancid faster than other nut butters, so always store it in the refrigerator after opening and stir before each use. Choose a brand that lists only one ingredient, walnuts, with maybe a pinch of salt. Avoid flavored or sweetened versions, which often contain honey or palm oil that negate the blood sugar benefits. As for cost, walnut butter typically ranges between $9 and $12 per jar in the United States. It's a fair price for what it delivers: cardiovascular protection, improved insulin sensitivity, enhanced brain function, and hormonal stability. When viewed through a diabetic lens, it's not a luxury. It's functional nutrition that replaces supplements and satisfies cravings at the same time. So here's the takeaway. While macadamia butter rebuilds your metabolism and hazelnut butter protects your nerves, walnut butter completes the healing circle. It nourishes the brain, rejuvenates the heart, and empowers the very cells that regulate insulin. Its creamy, earthy taste isn't just comforting, it's restorative, offering a tangible sense of calm and clarity that no pill can match. So the next time you're reaching for a spread, skip the sugary jars and grab walnut butter instead. 1 spoonful a day supports your brain, heart, and blood sugar all at once. Because sometimes the simplest foods hold the richest medicine nature ever made. If this video helped you understand your diabetic body better, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Diabetes Healthcare for more science-backed nutrition that actually works. Comment below and tell me which nut butter you're excited to try first. I read every response personally, and remember, managing diabetes isn't about restriction, It's about restoration. One spoonful at a time, you can take control of your blood sugar and rebuild your health naturally.